Welcome back to our channel, where we dive into the eerie and unexplained. Today, we set sail on a chilling journey to uncover the stories behind some of the world's most haunted and ghostly ships. From phantom vessels that vanish without a trace to the lingering spirits of sailors lost at sea, these tales will leave you questioning what lurks beneath the waves. Before we embark on this spine-tingling adventure, don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow ghost story enthusiasts, and subscribe to our channel for more haunting tales. We've explored haunted roads, sinister dolls, and eerie forests, and there's so much more to come. We love hearing from you, so please drop a comment below about what you'd like to see in future videos. Your suggestions inspire us to keep uncovering the mysteries that send shivers down our spines. Join us as we uncover the spectral secrets of the sea. Let's dive in. 1. The Queen Mary. The RMS Queen Mary, a grand and majestic ocean liner, was born out of the need for luxury travel and speed. Commissioned by the Cunard Line, construction of the ship began in December 1930 at the John Brown and Company shipyard in Clydebank, Scotland. Named after Queen Mary, the wife of King George V, this ship was intended to be the epitome of luxury and sophistication. The Queen Mary made her maiden voyage on May 27, 1936, sailing from Southampton, England, to New York City. This colossal vessel, stretching over 1,000 feet in length and weighing over 80,000 tons, was a marvel of engineering. She quickly became one of the most beloved ships on the transatlantic route, offering opulent accommodations, exquisite dining, and a smooth, fast passage across the Atlantic Ocean. During her early years, the Queen Mary was a symbol of elegance and luxury. Celebrities, dignitaries, and royalty graced her decks, enjoying the finest amenities and service. However, with the onset of World War II, the Queen Mary's role took a dramatic turn. In 1940, she was requisitioned by the British government and transformed into a troopship, painted in a drab grey and nicknamed the Grey Ghost. During the war, the Queen Mary played a crucial role in transporting Allied soldiers to various theaters of conflict. She carried up to 15,000 troops at a time, setting records for the number of passengers on a single voyage. Her speed and size made her difficult for enemy submarines to catch, earning her a reputation for safety and reliability. However, the war also brought tragedy to the ship. In 1942, while transporting troops from New York to Great Britain, the Queen Mary accidentally collided with her escort ship, the HMS Curacao, cutting it in half and resulting in the loss of over 300 lives. After the war, the Queen Mary was refurbished and returned to her original purpose as a luxury ocean liner. She resumed her transatlantic voyages in 1947, continuing to be a symbol of post-war optimism and prosperity. However, the rise of air travel in the 1950s and 1960s began to overshadow ocean liners, leading to a decline in demand. By the mid-1960s, the Queen Mary was struggling to remain profitable, and in 1967, she was retired from service. In December 1967, the Queen Mary arrived in Long Beach, California, where she was permanently docked and transformed into a hotel, museum, and tourist attraction. It was here that the stories of hauntings and paranormal activity began to emerge. Visitors and staff started reporting strange occurrences, leading to the Queen Mary's reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world. The ship's haunted history is rich with eerie tales and unexplained phenomena. One of the most famous haunted areas is the engine room, where a young sailor named John Petter was crushed to death by a watertight door during a routine drill in 1966. Visitors have reported seeing his ghost, often described as a young man in blue overalls, roaming the area. The first-class swimming pool, which has been closed for decades, is another hotspot for paranormal activity. People have reported seeing wet footprints, splashing sounds, and the apparitions of women in vintage swimsuits. Some claim to have seen the ghost of a young girl clutching her teddy bear, often identified as Jackie, who is said to have drowned in the pool. Another infamous location is the B340 cabin, which has a particularly dark reputation. Guests have reported being woken up by knocks on the door, lights turning on and off by themselves, and bed covers being pulled off during the night. The cabin was eventually closed to guests due to the frequency of these disturbances. Numerous other reports include sightings of a lady in white, believed to be the ghost of a woman who died on the ship, as well as a crew member named Grumpy, who is known for his unfriendly demeanor. The ship's decks, hallways, and other public areas are also said to be haunted, with reports of disembodied voices, shadowy figures, and sudden temperature drops. These ghostly encounters have fueled countless rumors and speculations. Some believe the spirits are those of passengers and crew members who died aboard the ship during its service years. Others think the ship's turbulent history, marked by war, accidents, and tragedy, has left an indelible mark, attracting spirits and paranormal energy. Despite its haunted reputation, the Queen Mary continues to be a popular destination for tourists and paranormal enthusiasts alike. The ship offers ghost tours, allowing visitors to explore its haunted areas and learn about its eerie past. These tours have become a significant attraction, drawing thousands of visitors each year. In recent years, the Queen Mary has faced challenges related to its maintenance and preservation. The aging vessel requires extensive repairs to remain safe and operational. Nevertheless, efforts are ongoing to preserve this historic ship, ensuring that its legacy, both as a symbol of luxury and as a haunted landmark, endures for future generations. 2. The ghost ship SS Valencia. The SS Valencia was a steamship built in 1882 by William Cramp and Sons in Philadelphia. Originally constructed for the Pacific Coast Steamship Company, this vessel was designed to serve as a passenger and cargo ship, primarily operating along the western coast of North America. The ship was 252 feet long, had a beam of 35 feet, and could carry about 286 passengers and crew. In her early years, the SS Valencia served reliably on various routes, ferrying passengers and goods between major coastal cities. She was not a luxurious liner but was known for her sturdy construction and dependable service. The ship's career, however, took a tragic turn that would seal her fate in maritime history and folklore. On January 20, 1906, the SS Valencia set sail from San Francisco to Seattle, carrying 108 passengers and a crew of 65. As the ship made her way north, she encountered severe weather conditions, including strong winds and heavy rain. Navigation became increasingly difficult, and on the night of January 22, 1906, the SS Valencia struck a reef near Baychimo Point on the southwest coast of Vancouver Island, British Columbia. The impact was catastrophic. The ship quickly began to take on water, and panic ensued among the passengers and crew. In the chaos that followed, lifeboats were launched, but most of them were either swamped by the rough seas or capsized. Many passengers and crew members were thrown into the freezing waters, desperately clinging to debris in a futile attempt to survive. The SS Valencia remained stranded on the reef, battered by relentless waves. Those who remained on board huddled together on the deck, hoping for rescue. Despite the harsh conditions, the survivors could see the distant shore but had no means of reaching it. Over the next 2 days, several rescue attempts were made, but the rough seas and poor visibility thwarted these efforts. In a final, desperate move, a few brave souls attempted to swim to shore, but only a handful survived. By January 24, 1906, the SS Valencia had succumbed to the relentless pounding of the waves and sank beneath the surface, taking with her the lives of over 130 passengers and crew. The tragedy shocked the maritime community and led to significant changes in safety regulations and rescue protocols. Following the disaster, the SS Valencia quickly gained a reputation as a ghost ship. Tales of ghostly sightings and eerie occurrences began to circulate among sailors and locals. One of the most persistent legends is that of the ghostly lifeboat. According to witnesses, a lifeboat from the SS Valencia, filled with skeletons of the passengers, has been seen drifting near the site of the wreck. The lifeboat is said to appear out of the fog, only to vanish just as mysteriously. Another well-known ghost story involves the spectral image of the SS Valencia herself. Mariners and fishermen have reported seeing the phantom ship, battered and broken, emerging from the mist near Vancouver Island. Some claim to hear the cries and screams of the doomed passengers, echoing across the water. These sightings often occurred during stormy weather, mirroring the conditions that led to the ship's demise. The legend of the SS Valencia extends to Baychimo Point Lighthouse, located near the site of the wreck. Lighthouse keepers have reported seeing ghostly apparitions of passengers wandering the shoreline, dressed in early 20th century clothing. Some have heard disembodied voices calling for help or the sound of splashing water, as if the spirits of those who perished in the disaster are still trying to reach safety. In addition to these ghostly encounters, numerous rumors and speculations have surrounded the SS Valencia over the years. Some believe that the ship was cursed, doomed to disaster from the start. Others think that the spirits of the lost passengers and crew remain bound to the ship and the site of the wreck, unable to find peace. The tragic story of the SS Valencia has been the subject of books, documentaries, and articles, keeping the memory of the disaster alive. The shipwreck site, located near the treacherous waters of the Graveyard of the Pacific, serves as a stark reminder of the dangers faced by mariners along this rugged coastline. Despite the passage of time, the legacy of the SS Valencia endures. Her story is a haunting reminder of the fragility of human life and the power of the sea. The tales of ghostly apparitions and mysterious lifeboats continue to captivate the imaginations of those who hear them, adding to the ship's enduring mystique. 3. The Flying Dutchman. The legend of the Flying Dutchman is one of the most enduring and chilling maritime tales ever told. This ghost ship, said to be cursed to sail the oceans for eternity, has captured the imaginations of sailors and storytellers for centuries. The story of the Flying Dutchman begins in the 17th century, during the Age of Sail, a time when the seas were teeming with exploration, trade, and conflict. The origins of the Flying Dutchman are shrouded in mystery and myth. Some say that the ship was a real vessel, a Dutch East India Company merchant ship captained by a man named Hendrik van der Decken. According to legend, Captain van der Decken was a fiercely determined and stubborn man, known for his disregard of the elements and his crew's well-being. The ship was said to have been making a voyage from Amsterdam to the East Indies, laden with valuable cargo. As the story goes, during one fateful journey in the early 1600s, the Flying Dutchman encountered a violent storm while attempting to round the Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa. The seas were treacherous, and the storm was relentless. Despite the pleas of his crew to turn back, Captain van der Decken swore to press on, cursing the winds and waves for attempting to thwart his passage. In some versions of the tale, it is said that he made a pact with the devil, vowing to sail until the end of time if necessary to reach his destination. In a fit of rage, Captain van der Decken is said to have cried out, "I will round this cape, even if I have to sail until doomsday." This act of hubris and defiance angered the gods, or perhaps the devil himself, and the ship was condemned to an eternity of torment. The crew, cursed along with their captain, became ghostly apparitions, forever trapped aboard the doomed vessel. The first recorded sighting of the Flying Dutchman dates back to the late 18th century. Sailors reported seeing a spectral ship, with tattered sails and a ghostly glow, appearing suddenly out of the mist and then vanishing just as quickly. The ship was often seen in stormy weather, and its appearance was considered a harbinger of doom. Those who saw the Flying Dutchman believed that disaster would soon follow, whether in the form of a shipwreck, illness, or other misfortune. One of the most famous sightings occurred in 1881, when the future King George V of England, then a midshipman aboard the HMS Bacchante, reported seeing the Flying Dutchman off the coast of Australia. According to his account, a ghostly vessel appeared out of nowhere, illuminated by a strange red light. The lookout on the Bacchante who first spotted the phantom ship fell to his death shortly after the sighting, further cementing the legend's ominous reputation. Over the years, numerous other sightings have been reported by sailors and maritime witnesses. Some describe the ship as appearing to be in distress, with ghostly crew members attempting to signal for help. Others claim to have seen the ship sailing at incredible speeds, defying the natural laws of the sea. The sightings are often accompanied by eerie weather phenomena, such as sudden squalls, strange lights, and unearthly sounds. The legend of the Flying Dutchman has been immortalized in literature, opera, and popular culture. One of the earliest literary references can be found in the 1795 book Voyage to Botany Bay by George Barrington, where the ship is described as a spectral vessel doomed to wander the seas forever. The tale was further popularized by the 1843 opera Der Fliegende Holländer by Richard Wagner, which tells the story of the cursed captain and his quest for redemption through the love of a faithful woman. In addition to literary works, the Flying Dutchman has appeared in numerous films, television shows, and even video games. The ship's enduring allure lies in its blend of nautical adventure, supernatural mystery, and tragic fate. It serves as a powerful symbol of the perils of hubris and the inexorable power of the sea. Rumors and speculations about the Flying Dutchman abound. Some believe that the ship's eternal voyage is a punishment for Captain van der Decken's defiance of the natural order. Others think that the ship is a ghostly reminder of the dangers faced by sailors in the age of exploration, when many ships were lost to storms, piracy, and other hazards. There are also those who see the legend as a cautionary tale about the limits of human ambition and the price of challenging forces beyond our control. Despite the passage of time and advances in navigation and shipbuilding, the legend of the Flying Dutchman remains a potent and haunting story. Modern sailors and maritime enthusiasts continue to share tales of sightings and eerie encounters, keeping the myth alive. Whether one believes in the literal existence of the ghost ship or sees it as a metaphor for the mysteries of the sea, the Flying Dutchman endures as a timeless and captivating legend. 4. The Mary Celeste. The story of the Mary Celeste is one of the most enduring maritime mysteries of all time. This American merchant brigantine was found adrift and deserted in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872, and her abandoned state has sparked countless theories, rumors, and legends. To understand the enigma of the Mary Celeste, we must first delve into her origins and early history. The Mary Celeste was built in Spencer's Island, Nova Scotia, in 1861. Originally named the Amazon, she was a sturdy and well-crafted vessel, designed for carrying cargo across the world's oceans. The ship measured 103 feet in length, 25 feet in beam, and had a gross tonnage of 282 tons. She was launched on May 18, 1861, and her maiden voyage took her to various ports in the West Indies. During her early years, the Amazon experienced a series of misfortunes. She was involved in several accidents, including a collision with another vessel in the English Channel and a grounding off the coast of Nova Scotia. Despite these setbacks, she was repaired and continued to serve as a reliable cargo ship. In 1867, the Amazon was severely damaged in a storm and was subsequently sold to an American consortium. After extensive repairs, she was renamed the Mary Celeste and registered in New York. The Mary Celeste embarked on her ill-fated voyage on November 7, 1872, from New York City, bound for Genoa, Italy. She was commanded by Captain Benjamin Briggs, an experienced mariner, and carried a cargo of 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol. On board were Captain Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and a crew of 7 men. By all accounts, the ship was in good condition, and the crew was competent and capable. On December 5, 1872, the British brig Dei Grazia, commanded by Captain David Morehouse, spotted the Mary Celeste drifting aimlessly about 400 miles east of the Azores. The ship appeared to be in distress, and as the Dei Grazia approached, it became evident that the Mary Celeste was abandoned. A boarding party was sent to investigate, and what they found has fueled speculation and debate ever since. The Mary Celeste was found in a strangely deserted state. The ship's cargo was largely intact, with only a few barrels of alcohol found to be empty. The personal belongings of the crew and passengers were undisturbed, and the ship's provisions were sufficient for 6 months. The lifeboat, however, was missing, suggesting that the crew had abandoned ship. The ship's logbook was intact, with the last entry dated November 25, 9 days before the Dei Grazia's discovery. The entry did not indicate any trouble or unusual circumstances. The mystery deepened as there were no signs of struggle or violence on board. The ship was seaworthy, and while some water had entered through an open hatch, it was not enough to warrant abandoning the vessel. Various theories were proposed to explain the sudden and unexplained disappearance of the Mary Celeste's crew. These ranged from piracy and mutiny to natural disasters and supernatural occurrences. One popular theory suggested that the crew may have abandoned ship due to fears of an explosion. Denatured alcohol, the cargo the Mary Celeste was carrying, is highly flammable, and it was speculated that fumes from leaking barrels could have caused the crew to panic. However, no evidence of an explosion or fire was found on board. Another theory posited that a waterspout, a tornado over water, might have caused a sudden and violent upheaval, leading the crew to believe the ship was in imminent danger. This could have prompted them to take to the lifeboat, only to be lost at sea. Yet, this theory also lacked concrete evidence. The lack of definitive answers led to the rise of numerous rumors and supernatural explanations. Some believed that the ship was cursed or haunted, and that the crew had fallen victim to ghostly apparitions or otherworldly forces. The eerie and unexplained nature of the abandonment lent itself to such fantastical interpretations. Over the years, the story of the Mary Celeste has been embellished and romanticized in literature and popular culture. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, wrote a fictionalized account of the ship's fate in a short story titled J. Habakkuk Jeffson's Statement, which further popularized the mystery and introduced elements of the supernatural. Despite the passage of time and advances in maritime research, the true fate of the Mary Celeste's crew remains unknown. The ship continued to sail under various owners until 1885, when she was deliberately wrecked off the coast of Haiti in an insurance fraud scheme. The once proud vessel was left to decay, but her legend lived on. The Mary Celeste's story continues to captivate and intrigue. The unresolved nature of the mystery, combined with the ship's ghostly reputation, has made it a staple of maritime lore. The tale serves as a reminder of the dangers and uncertainties faced by sailors, as well as the enduring allure of the unknown. 5. The Lady Lovibond. The story of the Lady Lovibond is one of the most romantic and tragic maritime legends ever told. This tale of a ghost ship, doomed to repeat its fatal voyage every 50 years, has been passed down through generations, captivating those who hear it with its blend of love, jealousy, and spectral sightings. To understand the full scope of the Lady Lovibond's legend, we must delve into her origins and the events that led to her haunting. The Lady Lovibond was a schooner, a type of sailing ship with 2 or more masts, built in the late 17th century. She was a beautiful vessel, designed for both speed and cargo capacity, and she sailed the seas with grace and elegance. The ship's fateful voyage began on February 13, 1748, under the command of Captain Simon Peel, a man known for his skill and dedication to the sea. Captain Peel was a man in love. He had recently married his beloved, Annetta, and in a break from maritime tradition, he decided to bring his new bride aboard the Lady Lovibond for their honeymoon voyage. It was unusual for women to be on ships at that time, as sailors believed it brought bad luck. Nevertheless, Captain Peel was determined to celebrate his love and share the adventure with his new wife. As the Lady Lovibond set sail from London, bound for Portugal, the mood aboard the ship was joyous. The crew celebrated the captain's marriage, and the journey began with fair winds and calm seas. However, beneath the surface of this happiness, a dark cloud of jealousy was brewing. John Rivers, the ship's first mate, was secretly in love with Annetta. Consumed by jealousy and rage, he could not bear to see her with Captain Peel. On the night of February 13, as the ship sailed along the treacherous Goodwin Sands off the coast of Kent, Rivers saw his opportunity to act. While the crew was celebrating below deck, Rivers seized the helm and deliberately steered the ship towards the dangerous sandbanks. The Lady Lovibond struck the sands with a terrible force, and the ship began to break apart. The once joyous honeymoon voyage turned into a scene of chaos and despair as the ship was lost to the sea, taking with her all those on board. The story of the Lady Lovibond might have ended there, a tragic tale of love and jealousy lost to the depths, if not for the strange and ghostly occurrences that followed. Exactly 50 years after the disaster, on February 13, 1798, multiple ships sailing near the Goodwin Sands reported seeing a phantom schooner, eerily similar to the Lady Lovibond. The ghost ship appeared to be in pristine condition, with lights glowing and the sounds of laughter and celebration drifting across the water. Yet, as the ships approached, the Lady Lovibond vanished into the mist, leaving no trace behind. The sightings did not stop there. On February 13, 1848, exactly 100 years after the original disaster, another sighting was reported. This time, local fishermen and sailors observed the spectral ship, glowing with an otherworldly light, sailing silently past the Goodwin Sands. The eerie event left witnesses in awe and fear, further cementing the legend of the Lady Lovibond. The ghostly appearances continued at regular intervals, with reports in 1898 and 1948. Each time, the Lady Lovibond was seen sailing near the Goodwin Sands on the anniversary of her demise. These sightings always involved the ship appearing to be in celebration, as if reliving the joyous moments before her tragic end. Despite the passage of time, the legend of the Lady Lovibond remained strong, passed down through generations of sailors and coastal inhabitants. In 1998, anticipation built once again as the 250th anniversary of the Lady Lovibond's wreck approached. People gathered near the Goodwin Sands, hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary ghost ship. However, this time, there were no reported sightings, leading some to speculate that the Lady Lovibond's spirit had finally found peace, or perhaps that the ghostly cycle had simply shifted. The legend of the Lady Lovibond has inspired numerous stories, books, and even songs. It is a tale that resonates with themes of love, betrayal, and the supernatural. The image of a beautiful schooner, eternally sailing the seas in celebration, only to vanish into the mist, captures the imagination and stirs the soul. Despite the romantic and ghostly allure of the story, some skeptics argue that the sightings of the Lady Lovibond can be explained by natural phenomena. The Goodwin Sands are notorious for their shifting sands and treacherous waters, which have claimed many ships over the centuries. Some believe that the ghost ship sightings are simply mirages or optical illusions caused by atmospheric conditions. Others think that the tale has been embellished over time, with each retelling adding to the mystery and drama. Regardless of the explanations, the legend of the Lady Lovibond endures. It serves as a reminder of the power of the sea and the emotions that drive human actions. The story of Captain Simon Peel, his beloved Annetta, and the jealous John Rivers is a timeless narrative of love and tragedy, with a supernatural twist that keeps it alive in the collective memory. 6. The SS Ourang Medan. The story of the SS Ourang Medan is one of the most chilling and enigmatic maritime tales ever recorded. This Dutch cargo ship, whose very existence is shrouded in mystery, became the center of a series of strange and unexplained events in the late 1940s. The story has intrigued and baffled maritime historians, paranormal enthusiasts, and conspiracy theorists alike. To understand the full scope of this eerie legend, we must delve into the events that led to the ship's notoriety and the haunting mysteries that surround it. The SS Ourang Medan was reportedly a Dutch freighter that sailed the waters of Southeast Asia. There are no definitive records of its construction or ownership, adding to the aura of mystery that envelopes the ship. The name Ourang Medan roughly translates to "man from Medan," with Medan being a city in Indonesia. Details about the ship's early voyages and its cargo are sparse and largely based on anecdotal accounts. The story of the SS Ourang Medan begins in June 1947, though some sources suggest it could have been in 1948. The ship was sailing through the Strait of Malacca, a narrow and busy shipping lane between the Malay Peninsula and the Indonesian island of Sumatra. The weather was reportedly calm, and there was no indication of any impending danger. On that fateful day, several ships in the vicinity, including American and British vessels, received a distress signal from the Ourang Medan. The message was composed of two parts and sent in Morse code. The first part of the message was a chilling plea for help, SOS from Ourang Medan. "We float. All officers, including the captain, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge. Possibly whole crew dead." After a brief pause, the final, cryptic message followed, "I die." Then, silence. The nearby ships, alarmed by the distress call, managed to triangulate the source of the signal and sent a rescue party to investigate. One of the closest ships, the Silver Star, an American merchant vessel, was dispatched to assist. When the Silver Star reached the coordinates provided, the crew found the Ourang Medan adrift and eerily silent. There were no signs of life on deck, and no one responded to their hails. A boarding party from the Silver Star was sent to investigate the ghostly ship. What they found aboard the Ourang Medan defied explanation and has become the stuff of legend. The crew of the Ourang Medan was found dead, their bodies scattered across the deck and inside the ship. The expressions on their faces were described as frozen in terror, their eyes wide open, and their mouths agape as if in their final moments they had witnessed something horrifying. Even the ship's dog was found dead, its expression similarly contorted in fear. The scene was made even more unsettling by the absence of any visible injuries or signs of struggle. The crew appeared to have simply dropped dead where they stood, as if some unseen force had snatched the life from them. The temperature aboard the ship was reportedly extremely low, despite the tropical climate outside, adding to the mystery. As the boarding party explored the ship further, they discovered the captain's body in the bridge, the officers in the chart room, and the remaining crew in various other locations, all dead and displaying the same grotesque expressions. The radio operator, who had sent the distress signal, was found dead at his station, his hand still on the Morse key. The rescuers from the Silver Star decided to tow the Ourang Medan to the nearest port for further investigation. However, before they could begin, smoke began to billow from the ship's cargo hold. The boarding party hastily evacuated, and moments later, the Ourang Medan exploded with tremendous force, sinking rapidly into the depths of the sea and taking its secrets with it. The mysterious circumstances surrounding the SS Ourang Medan have led to numerous theories and speculations. One popular theory suggests that the ship was carrying a cargo of hazardous materials, such as chemicals or nerve agents, which might have leaked and caused the crew's deaths. This theory is supported by the sudden drop in temperature and the explosion that followed, which could have been the result of a chemical reaction. Another theory posits that the ship was involved in clandestine operations or smuggling, possibly transporting illegal or dangerous substances. The secrecy and lack of official records could indicate an attempt to cover up the true nature of the voyage and its cargo. Some have even suggested that the Ourang Medan was carrying biological weapons or radioactive materials, though there is no concrete evidence to support these claims. The paranormal explanation is another angle that has been widely discussed. The ghostly expressions on the crew's faces and the inexplicable nature of their deaths have led some to believe that the ship encountered a supernatural force or entity. Stories of ghost ships and haunted vessels are common in maritime folklore, and the Ourang Medan fits neatly into this narrative. There are also those who believe the story of the SS Ourang Medan to be a hoax or a myth, citing the lack of verifiable records and the sensational nature of the tale. Skeptics argue that the story might have been fabricated or exaggerated over time, becoming a modern legend with each retelling. Despite the various theories and debates, the mystery of the SS Ourang Medan remains unsolved. The lack of physical evidence, combined with the eerie and unsettling details of the crew's deaths, has ensured that the story continues to captivate and intrigue. The tale serves as a reminder of the unexplained phenomena that can occur on the high seas and the enduring allure of maritime mysteries. In popular culture, the story of the SS Ourang Medan has been referenced in books, documentaries, and even video games, further cementing its place in the annals of maritime legend. It is a story that combines elements of horror, mystery, and adventure, appealing to those with a fascination for the unknown. 7. The USS Hornet. The USS Hornet, an aircraft carrier with a storied past, stands as a testament to American naval prowess and a beacon for ghostly tales. Launched during World War II, the ship has seen its share of battles, victories, and tragedies. Today, it is not only a floating museum but also one of the most haunted ships in the United States. To understand the full scope of the USS Hornet's history and its haunted reputation, we must delve into its origins, wartime service, and the eerie occurrences that followed. The USS Hornet, CV-12, was commissioned on November 29, 1943. It was the 8th ship to bear the name Hornet and was an Essex-class aircraft carrier, a key player in the United States Navy's efforts during World War II. Built at the Newport News Shipbuilding and Drydock Company in Virginia, the Hornet was a marvel of modern naval engineering, designed to support and launch aircraft in combat operations. The Hornet saw extensive action in the Pacific Theater, participating in several critical battles, including the Battle of the Philippine Sea, the Battle of Leyte Gulf, and the assaults on Iwo Jima and Okinawa. The ship's air groups were instrumental in delivering decisive blows to the Japanese fleet, contributing significantly to the Allied victory in the Pacific. The Hornet earned 9 battle stars for its service during World War II, a testament to its valor and effectiveness. During its service, the Hornet faced numerous challenges and endured significant damage from enemy attacks. Despite these hardships, the ship and its crew displayed remarkable resilience and determination. The Hornet's contribution to the war effort extended beyond combat, as it also served as a platform for humanitarian missions, including rescuing downed pilots and providing aid to civilians. After World War II, the USS Hornet continued to serve the Navy during the Cold War era. It was modernized and adapted to new technological advancements, participating in various operations and exercises. One of the Hornet's most notable post-war achievements was its role in the Apollo space program. In 1969, the Hornet recovered the Apollo 11 astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, after their historic moon landing. The ship also recovered the Apollo 12 astronauts later that same year, further cementing its place in history. Despite its illustrious service record, the USS Hornet was decommissioned on June 26, 1970. It was initially mothballed and later designated for scrapping. However, in 1998, the Hornet was saved from destruction and transformed into a museum ship, permanently berthed in Alameda, California. As a museum, the Hornet offers visitors a chance to explore its storied past, with exhibits detailing its wartime service, its role in the space program, and its life as a naval vessel. It was during its time as a museum ship that stories of the Hornet's hauntings began to emerge. Visitors and staff alike have reported numerous paranormal encounters, making the USS Hornet one of the most haunted ships in the United States. These ghostly tales have added a new layer of intrigue to the ship's already fascinating history. One of the most frequently reported phenomena aboard the Hornet is the sighting of apparitions. Visitors have claimed to see ghostly figures dressed in naval uniforms roaming the ship's passageways and flight deck. These apparitions are often described as looking lost or confused, as if they are still carrying out their duties from decades past. Some have even reported seeing figures standing on the flight deck, only to disappear when approached. In addition to visual sightings, many people have reported hearing unexplained sounds aboard the Hornet. Footsteps echoing through empty corridors, disembodied voices, and the clang of metal are just a few of the auditory phenomena experienced by visitors. Some have heard the sounds of machinery operating, as if the ship were still active and running. These noises often occur in areas of the ship that were once bustling with activity, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Cold spots and sudden temperature drops are also common on the USS Hornet. Visitors have described feeling an inexplicable chill in certain areas of the ship, particularly in the engine room and below deck. These cold spots are often accompanied by a feeling of being watched or followed, heightening the sense of unease. One of the most well-known ghost stories associated with the Hornet involves the ghost of a sailor named John. According to legend, John was a young sailor who died tragically aboard the ship. His spirit is said to haunt the Hornet, making his presence known through various means. Visitors have reported seeing a young man in uniform, hearing his voice calling out, and even feeling a gentle touch on their shoulder. John's ghost is often described as friendly and protective, watching over the ship and its visitors. Another commonly reported apparition is that of a World War II-era officer. This ghostly figure has been seen in several areas of the ship, including the officers' quarters and the flight deck. Witnesses have described him as a stern-looking man, often seen staring out to sea or walking purposefully through the ship. His presence is often accompanied by a sense of duty and solemnity, as if he is still carrying out his responsibilities as an officer. The USS Hornet has also been the site of numerous paranormal investigations. Ghost hunting groups and television shows have explored the ship, capturing evidence of its haunted reputation. Investigators have recorded EVP, electronic voice phenomena, of voices responding to questions, captured unexplained images on camera, and experienced physical sensations such as being touched or pushed. These investigations have only added to the ship's mystique and allure. Despite the many reports of paranormal activity, skeptics argue that the stories of hauntings on the USS Hornet can be attributed to natural explanations. The ship's age, combined with the creaks and groans of its metal structure, can create sounds that might be mistaken for ghostly phenomena. The power of suggestion and the ship's dark and confined spaces can also contribute to the feeling of unease experienced by visitors. Nevertheless, the haunted reputation of the USS Hornet remains strong. The ship's history, combined with the numerous reports of paranormal encounters, has made it a popular destination for both history enthusiasts and ghost hunters. The USS Hornet serves as a reminder of the bravery and sacrifice of the sailors who served aboard her, as well as a testament to the enduring fascination with the unknown. 8. The Ghost Ship Carroll A. Deering. The tale of the Carroll A. Deering is one of the most enduring maritime mysteries of the 20th century. This American schooner, built for cargo transport, became infamous after its eerie and unexplained abandonment in 1921. To unravel the story of the Carroll A. Deering, we must explore its history before the mysterious incident, the details of the haunting events, the various encounters, and the numerous rumors and theories that have emerged over the years. The Carroll A. Deering was a 5-masted commercial schooner built in Bath, Maine, in 1919 by the G.G. Deering Company. Named after the owner's son, the ship was designed to carry large cargoes of coal and other goods along the eastern seaboard and to South America. At 255 feet long, the Carroll A. Deering was one of the last large schooners built during an era when steamships were beginning to dominate maritime commerce. The schooner's early voyages were uneventful. It transported cargo along the east coast and made several trips to South America, earning a reputation as a reliable and sturdy vessel. Its design and construction were state-of-the-art for its time, reflecting the craftsmanship and expertise of its builders. However, the Carroll A. Deering's routine service would soon take a dramatic turn that would etch its name into maritime lore. In late 1920, the Carroll A. Deering set sail from Norfolk, Virginia, bound for Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, with a cargo of coal. The ship was captained by veteran mariner William H. Merritt, who was accompanied by his son Sewell, serving as first mate. However, shortly after departing, Captain Merritt fell ill and was forced to disembark in Delaware. Captain Willis B. Wormel, another experienced seaman, was brought in to replace Merritt, and the ship continued on its journey with its new captain and crew. The Carroll A. Deering successfully delivered its cargo in Rio de Janeiro, and Captain Wormel took some time to visit friends and family in the area. During this time, First Mate Charles B. McClellan had a disagreement with the crew, which reportedly led to tensions aboard the ship. Despite these issues, the schooner set sail for its return voyage to the United States on December 2, 1920. On January 29, 1921, the Carroll A. Deering was sighted by the Cape Lookout lightship off the coast of North Carolina. The lightship's keeper, Captain Jacobson, reported that a thin, red-haired man hailed them, saying the ship had lost its anchors. This was unusual because it was typically the captain who communicated with other vessels, not a crew member. Jacobson also noted that the crew seemed to be milling about on the foredeck, an odd behavior for a ship at sea. The next sighting of the Carroll A. Deering occurred on January 31, 1921, when it was spotted aground on Diamond Shoals, a treacherous area off Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, known as the Graveyard of the Atlantic. The Coast Guard was dispatched to investigate and found the ship abandoned, with no sign of the crew or the ship's lifeboats. The sails were set, and the galley appeared to have been recently used, with food left on the stove and plates on the table, as if the crew had vanished suddenly. The initial investigation revealed some puzzling details. The ship's logbook and navigation equipment were missing, along with the crew's personal belongings. However, there were no signs of a struggle or violence. The Coast Guard attempted to salvage the vessel, but before they could do so, a storm rolled in and severely damaged the schooner, making it impossible to tow. The Carroll A. Deering eventually broke apart and sank, taking with it any remaining clues about the fate of its crew. The disappearance of the Carroll A. Deering's crew sparked widespread speculation and numerous theories. Some believed that the ship had fallen victim to piracy, while others suggested a mutiny. The tension between First Mate McClellan and the crew lent some credence to the mutiny theory, but no definitive evidence was ever found to support it. Another theory posited that the ship had been hijacked by rumrunners, who were active in the area during Prohibition. The idea was that the crew had been forced into lifeboats and left to fend for themselves while the hijackers made off with valuable supplies and equipment. However, this theory also lacked concrete evidence. The most outlandish theories suggested that the ship had encountered supernatural forces or even extraterrestrials. This idea was fueled by the ship's mysterious abandonment and the eerie circumstances of the crew's disappearance. Such theories, while popular in folklore, have never been substantiated. The U.S. government also conducted its own investigation into the disappearance. The Department of Commerce gathered information from various sources, including other ships in the area and interviews with family members of the crew. Despite these efforts, the investigation yielded no conclusive answers, and the fate of the Carroll A. Deering's crew remains a mystery to this day. In the years following the ship's abandonment, the Carroll A. Deering became a focal point for paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters. Theories about the ship's haunting emerged, with some claiming to have seen ghostly apparitions of the crew on the decks or heard unexplained noises coming from the wreck. These tales have added to the ship's legend, making it a subject of fascination for those interested in maritime mysteries and the supernatural. One popular account involves sightings of a spectral ship resembling the Carroll A. Deering sailing near the site of its grounding. Witnesses have described seeing the ghostly schooner in full sail, only for it to vanish suddenly without a trace. Such sightings have been reported by both locals and visitors to the area, contributing to the ship's reputation as a ghost ship. Over the decades, the Carroll A. Deering has been featured in numerous books, articles, and documentaries, each attempting to unravel the mystery of its abandonment. Despite the various theories and investigations, the true fate of the crew remains one of the great unsolved mysteries of maritime history. In popular culture, the story of the Carroll A. Deering has inspired fiction and non-fiction alike. The ship's mysterious disappearance and the haunting details of its abandonment continue to captivate the imagination, serving as a reminder of the sea's vast and unpredictable nature. Today, the legacy of the Carroll A. Deering lives on through the stories and legends that surround it. The ship's tale is a poignant example of the many mysteries that still lie hidden in the depths of the oceans, waiting to be discovered. Whether viewed as a cautionary tale, a ghost story, or a historical enigma, the Carroll A. Deering remains an enduring symbol of maritime mystery. 9. The Ghost Ship Baychimo. The story of the Baychimo is one of the most fascinating and enduring maritime mysteries of the 20th century. Known as the ghost ship of the Arctic, the Baychimo was a cargo steamer that became legendary for its eerie and unexplained drifting through the icy waters of the Arctic Ocean. To unravel the tale of the Baychimo, we must explore its origins, its operational history, the circumstances leading to its abandonment, and the numerous sightings and encounters that have solidified its status as a ghost ship. The SS Baychimo was launched in 1914 in Gothenburg, Sweden, originally named the Angermanelfen. It was a steel-hulled, steam-powered cargo ship built to withstand the harsh conditions of the Arctic. Measuring 230 feet in length, the Baychimo was designed for the Hudson's Bay Company to transport goods and supplies to remote trading posts in the Canadian Arctic and to return with furs and other trade items. The ship was well suited for its role, thanks to its sturdy construction and reliable steam engine. For over a decade, the Baychimo operated successfully, making regular voyages between Vancouver, British Columbia, and the northern outposts of Canada. Its cargo varied from essential supplies like food and medicine to trade goods such as textiles and manufactured items. The Baychimo played a crucial role in maintaining the lifelines between isolated communities and the broader world, earning a reputation as a dependable and vital vessel. In October 1931, the Baychimo embarked on what would become its most fateful voyage. The ship was en route from Vancouver to the Arctic town of Herschel Island, laden with a cargo of furs. As winter approached, the Arctic waters began to freeze, trapping the Baychimo in the pack ice off the coast of Alaska. The crew, led by Captain Cornwell, was well prepared for the harsh conditions and had experienced similar situations before. They decided to wait for the ice to break up, allowing the ship to continue its journey. However, the ice did not relent. As weeks passed, the situation grew more precarious. On October 8, 1931, the crew abandoned the ship, fearing it would be crushed by the ice. They set up camp on the ice and awaited rescue. A few days later, a blizzard struck, and when the storm cleared, the Baychimo had vanished. The crew assumed it had sunk, but to their astonishment, the ship was spotted adrift about a mile away from their camp. The crew reboarded the ship, salvaged some of the cargo, and then returned to their ice camp, expecting the ship to be destroyed by the ice. To their surprise, the Baychimo did not sink. It remained adrift in the ice, seemingly undeterred by the harsh conditions. The Hudson's Bay Company decided it was too dangerous to continue salvage operations, and the Baychimo was left to its fate. Little did anyone know that this was just the beginning of the ship's ghostly saga. Over the next several decades, the Baychimo was sighted numerous times, drifting aimlessly through the Arctic waters. Despite the odds, the ship managed to survive the brutal conditions, becoming an enigmatic presence in the icy seas. Reports of sightings came from a variety of sources, including native Inuit hunters, explorers, and other ships navigating the Arctic. One of the earliest and most notable sightings occurred in 1932, when the Baychimo was spotted near the shores of Alaska. A group of Inuit hunters boarded the ship, finding it largely intact but abandoned. They salvaged some of the cargo before leaving the ship to continue its ghostly journey. Over the years, similar encounters were reported, with the Baychimo being sighted in various locations across the Arctic. In 1933, a group of prospectors boarded the Baychimo and stayed on the ship for 10 days, hoping to claim it as salvage. However, a fierce storm forced them to abandon the vessel. Remarkably, the Baychimo weathered the storm and continued to drift through the Arctic waters, undeterred by the elements. As the years passed, the sightings of the Baychimo continued to captivate the imagination of those who encountered it. In 1939, it was spotted floating near the Beaufort Sea, and in 1962, it was seen frozen in an ice pack. Each sighting added to the ship's legend, reinforcing its reputation as a ghost ship. The mystery of the Baychimo's endurance in such a hostile environment has led to numerous theories and speculations. Some suggest that the ship's robust construction and design allowed it to survive the harsh Arctic conditions. Others believe that the currents and ice flows of the Arctic played a role in keeping the ship afloat and mobile. The lack of human interference also meant that the ship remained relatively undisturbed, allowing it to persist for decades. The legend of the Baychimo has also inspired various tales and folklore. Some stories suggest that the ship is cursed, doomed to drift eternally through the Arctic waters. Others believe that the Baychimo is protected by supernatural forces, ensuring its survival against all odds. These tales have only added to the ship's mystique and allure. Despite numerous sightings and attempts to board the ship, the ultimate fate of the Baychimo remains unknown. The last confirmed sighting was in 1969, near the shores of Alaska, more than 38 years after it was abandoned. Since then, no definitive evidence of the ship has been found, leading to speculation that it may have finally succumbed to the ice and sunk to the depths of the Arctic Ocean. The story of the Baychimo has captured the imagination of many, becoming a symbol of mystery and endurance in the face of nature's harshest conditions. The ship's tale is a reminder of the vast and unpredictable power of the sea, and the enduring allure of maritime mysteries. In popular culture, the Baychimo has been featured in books, documentaries, and articles, each exploring the ship's enigmatic history and the many theories surrounding its fate. The legend of the ghost ship continues to intrigue and inspire, drawing the interest of historians, maritime enthusiasts, and ghost hunters alike. Today, the Baychimo remains a compelling chapter in the annals of maritime history. Its story is a blend of adventure, mystery, and folklore, a testament to the enduring fascination with the unknown. Whether viewed as a ghost ship or a remarkable survivor of the Arctic's unforgiving environment, the Baychimo's legacy lives on. 10. The haunted shipwreck of SS American Star. The story of the SS American Star, once a proud ocean liner and now a haunting shipwreck, is a tale steeped in maritime history, tragedy, and enduring mystery. To fully appreciate the legend of this ghostly wreck, we must explore its origins, its operational history, the dramatic events leading to its demise, and the eerie occurrences that have surrounded it since. The SS American Star began its life as the SS America, a grand ocean liner built for the United States Lines in 1939. Designed by the renowned naval architect William Francis Gibbs, the ship was a marvel of modern engineering and elegance. Measuring 723 feet in length and weighing over 26,000 tons, the SS America was intended to be a symbol of American prestige and maritime prowess. Its sleek lines, luxurious interiors, and powerful engines made it one of the most impressive vessels of its time. The SS America was launched on August 31, 1939, with great fanfare. It was the largest passenger ship ever built in the United States at the time. As it embarked on its maiden voyage from New York to Europe in 1940, the ship quickly gained a reputation for its comfort, speed, and reliability. It was capable of carrying nearly 1,200 passengers and 600 crew members, making it a floating palace on the seas. However, the outbreak of World War II soon altered the course of the SS America's career. In 1941, the ship was requisitioned by the United States Navy and converted into a troop transport vessel, renamed the USS West Point. Over the course of the war, the ship played a crucial role in transporting troops and supplies to various theaters of conflict. It safely carried over 350,000 military personnel during its wartime service, earning commendations for its performance and reliability. After the war, the ship was returned to the United States lines and reverted to its original name, SS America. It underwent extensive refitting to restore its former glory as a passenger liner and resumed commercial service in 1946. For the next 2 decades, the SS America continued to sail the Atlantic, transporting passengers between the United States and Europe. Its popularity waned somewhat with the advent of air travel, but it remained a beloved vessel for those who cherished the romance of ocean voyages. By the 1960s, the era of the Grand Ocean Liner was coming to an end. The SS America was sold to the Chandris Group in 1964 and renamed the SS Australis. It was refitted for cruises and emigrant voyages, catering to a new market of travelers. The ship's new role saw it sailing to destinations around the world, including Australia and New Zealand. Despite its new purpose, the ship retained much of its original charm and elegance. The SS America, now known as the SS Australis, continued to sail until 1978, when it was finally retired from service. The ship changed hands several times over the following years, being renamed multiple times and serving various purposes, including as a barracks ship for refugees and as a hotel ship. Each change marked a decline in the ship's condition and a departure from its former grandeur. In 1993, the ship was sold to a Thai company with plans to convert it into a floating hotel and casino in Phuket. Renamed the SS American Star, the ship embarked on its final voyage in December 1993, towed from Greece to Thailand. However, fate had a different plan for this storied vessel. On January 17, 1994, while being towed through the Atlantic Ocean, the SS American Star encountered a powerful storm off the coast of the Canary Islands. The tow line snapped, and the ship drifted helplessly towards the shore. Despite efforts to reattach the lines and regain control, the ship ultimately ran aground on the rocky coast of Fuerteventura, one of the Canary Islands. The dramatic beaching marked the end of the ship's seafaring days and the beginning of its eerie second life as a haunted shipwreck. The SS American Star broke in two shortly after running aground, with the stern section quickly sinking into the sea. The bow section remained stranded on the shore, a ghostly and imposing sight against the rugged coastline. The once majestic ocean liner was now a haunting skeleton of twisted metal and decaying grandeur, battered by the relentless waves and harsh elements. Over the years, the wreck of the SS American Star has become a magnet for adventurers, photographers, and those intrigued by the ship's storied past. The wreck's remote location and the dangerous conditions surrounding it have only added to its allure. Numerous attempts to salvage the ship have been thwarted by the treacherous waters and the ship's precarious position on the rocks. As the years passed, the wreckage of the SS American Star began to take on an almost otherworldly presence. Visitors to the site have reported strange and unsettling experiences, fueling rumors that the shipwreck is haunted. Some claim to have heard disembodied voices and eerie sounds emanating from the wreck, while others have reported seeing ghostly figures on the decaying decks. These tales have added a layer of mystique and foreboding to the already haunting site of the shipwreck. One of the most persistent rumors is that the ship is haunted by the spirits of those who sailed on it during its long and varied history. The ship's transformation from a luxurious ocean liner to a wartime transport vessel, and later to a refugee barracks and hotel ship, meant that it witnessed many human stories and emotions. Some believe that these spirits are still attached to the ship, unable or unwilling to leave it even in its ruined state. Another rumor suggests that the shipwreck is cursed, doomed to remain a ghostly presence on the shores of Fuerteventura. The ship's dramatic and tragic end, coupled with its storied past, has led some to believe that the SS American Star is a vessel marked by misfortune and spectral activity. These rumors have only heightened the Shipwrecks' reputation as one of the most haunted and mysterious sites in maritime history. Despite the passage of time and the relentless forces of nature, the wreck of the SS American Star continues to captivate and intrigue. The ship's skeletal remains, slowly being reclaimed by the sea, stand as a poignant reminder of its once majestic presence and the many lives it touched. The wreck has become a symbol of both human achievement and the inexorable power of nature, a testament to the ship's enduring legacy. In popular culture, the story of the SS American Star has inspired books, documentaries, and articles, each exploring the ship's fascinating history and the haunting mystery of its wreck. The ship's tale is a blend of historical significance, maritime adventure, and ghostly folklore, making it a compelling subject for those interested in the sea and its many mysteries. Today, the SS American Star remains a haunting and evocative sight, a ghost ship stranded on the shores of Fuerteventura. Its story is a testament to the enduring power of the sea and the mysteries it holds. Whether viewed as a tragic relic, a haunted site, or a symbol of maritime history, the SS American Star's legacy lives on, captivating the imagination and stirring the souls of those who encounter its ghostly remains. 11. The Phantom Ship Caleuche. The tale of the phantom ship Caleuche is a haunting and intriguing story that has captivated the imagination of those who dwell along the southern coasts of Chile. Known for its spectral appearances and eerie reputation, the Caleuche is one of the most famous ghost ships in South American folklore. To understand the full extent of this maritime legend, we must explore the ship's origins, its haunted history, and the many stories and sightings that have contributed to its ghostly reputation. The Caleuche is a legendary phantom ship said to sail the waters of the Chiloé archipelago, a group of islands off the coast of southern Chile. According to local folklore, the Caleuche was once a real ship, though the details of its origins and its operational history are shrouded in mystery. Some versions of the legend suggest that the Caleuche was a merchant vessel that operated in the 19th century, while others propose that it was a pirate ship or a vessel belonging to a noble family. Before becoming a ghostly apparition, the Caleuche is said to have been a majestic and beautiful ship. It was reputed to be an elegant and luxurious vessel, adorned with fine decorations and equipped with state-of-the-art amenities for its time. The ship was a symbol of wealth and prestige, and its voyages were the subject of much admiration and intrigue. The legend of the Caleuche takes a dramatic turn with its transformation into a phantom ship. According to local folklore, the ship met a tragic fate and was cursed to sail the waters of the Chiloé archipelago for eternity. The most common version of the story suggests that the Caleuche was lost in a violent storm or a supernatural event, resulting in the ship and its crew being condemned to roam the seas as restless spirits. The ghostly presence of the Caleuche is characterized by its eerie and otherworldly appearance. Witnesses who have reported seeing the phantom ship describe it as a large, illuminated vessel that appears out of nowhere, often surrounded by a mysterious fog. The ship is said to glow with a spectral light, and its sails are described as billowing despite the absence of wind. The sight of the Caleuche is often accompanied by strange and unsettling sounds, such as ghostly music, eerie voices, or the creaking of the ship's hull. One of the most famous incidents associated with the Caleuche involves the disappearance of a ship's crew. According to the legend, the crew of the Caleuche was doomed to join the ghostly vessel after their deaths. It is said that the ship's crew members, having perished in some tragic event, were condemned to serve on the Caleuche for all eternity. As a result, the ship is often described as being crewed by spectral figures who are trapped in their ghostly forms. The Caleuche's haunted reputation has led to numerous encounters and sightings over the years. Fishermen, sailors, and islanders in the Chiloé archipelago have reported seeing the phantom ship on several occasions. These sightings often occur under mysterious or ominous circumstances, such as during storms, foggy nights, or other atmospheric phenomena that enhance the ship's spectral appearance. One well-known account involves a group of fishermen who encountered the Caleuche while out at sea. The fishermen reported seeing the ship glowing with an otherworldly light and hearing ghostly music drifting across the water. Despite their efforts to approach the ship, it vanished as suddenly as it had appeared, leaving the fishermen with a sense of awe and dread. Another notable encounter occurred when a group of sailors on a small boat witnessed the Caleuche drifting through the fog. The sailors described the ship as being surrounded by an eerie silence and said that they could see spectral figures moving about the deck. When they attempted to communicate with the ship, it disappeared into the mist, leaving the sailors shaken and bewildered. The legend of the Caleuche has also given rise to various rumors and interpretations. Some locals believe that the phantom ship is a manifestation of an ancient curse or a punishment for some past transgression. According to one version of the story, the ship's crew was cursed by a vengeful spirit or deity, condemning them to sail the seas forever as punishment for their misdeeds. Others speculate that the Caleuche's appearance is a form of supernatural warning or a harbinger of disaster. Some believe that the ship's sightings are a signal of impending danger or a reminder of the perils of the sea. In this interpretation, the Caleuche serves as a ghostly reminder of the power and unpredictability of the ocean. The Caleuche's legend has been a source of inspiration for various cultural and artistic expressions. It has been featured in local folklore, literature, and even popular media, contributing to its status as one of the most enduring ghost ship legends in South America. The story of the Caleuche continues to captivate the imagination of those who hear it, blending elements of maritime history, supernatural mystery, and cultural heritage. Despite the many sightings and stories associated with the Caleuche, there remains no definitive evidence to confirm its existence. The ship's ghostly reputation is built on a combination of folklore, anecdotal accounts, and the evocative power of maritime legend. Whether seen as a genuine supernatural phenomenon or a product of local myth and imagination, the Caleuche remains a compelling and enigmatic figure in the lore of the Chiloé archipelago. 12. The Ghost Ship Jenny. The story of the ghost ship Jenny is a haunting maritime legend that has intrigued and mystified those who hear it. Known for its spectral presence and eerie reputation, the Jenny's tale is a blend of historical tragedy and ghostly folklore. To fully grasp the haunting story of this ghost ship, we must delve into its origins, its transformation into a spectral vessel, and the chilling encounters and rumors that have emerged over time. The ship known as Jenny was a merchant vessel operating in the early 19th century. Built in the early 1800s, the Jenny was designed for trade and transportation across the Atlantic Ocean. It was a sturdy and reliable ship, known for its efficient cargo holds and the speed of its voyages. The ship was primarily engaged in transporting goods between Europe and the Americas, and it gained a reputation for its dependability and performance. During its operational years, the Jenny made numerous voyages, becoming a well-regarded part of the maritime trade network. The ship's crew was known for their professionalism, and the Jenny was considered a valuable asset in its time. The vessel's success in trade and transport made it a prominent ship in the maritime community, and it enjoyed a period of relative prosperity and respect. The ghostly legend of the Jenny begins with a tragic and mysterious event. According to various accounts, the ship met a disastrous fate during one of its voyages. The most common version of the story suggests that the Jenny was lost during a violent storm or a maritime disaster. The ship was said to have vanished without a trace, and its crew and cargo were presumed lost at sea. The details of the ship's final voyage are shrouded in mystery. Some reports suggest that the Jenny was carrying valuable cargo, and its disappearance was linked to rumors of piracy or sabotage. Others believe that the ship fell victim to a powerful storm, resulting in its sinking and the loss of all hands. The exact circumstances surrounding the Jenny's disappearance remain uncertain, adding to the enigma of its ghostly legend. Following its disappearance, the Jenny became the subject of numerous ghost stories and supernatural claims. According to local folklore, the ship's tragic fate condemned it to wander the seas as a ghostly apparition. The Jenny was said to have become a spectral vessel, doomed to sail the waters where it met its end. Witnesses who have reported seeing the ghostly Jenny describe a ship that appears out of nowhere, often shrouded in mist or fog. The phantom ship is said to glow with an eerie light, and its sails are described as billowing despite the absence of wind. The ship's appearance is often accompanied by unsettling sounds, such as ghostly voices, creaking timbers, or the distant sound of a ship's bell. One of the most famous incidents associated with the ghost ship Jenny involves a group of sailors who encountered the phantom vessel while at sea. According to the account, the sailors were navigating through a foggy night when they spotted the glowing outline of a ship in the distance. As they drew closer, the ghostly ship became clearer, revealing itself as the spectral Jenny. The sailors reported that the ghost ship seemed to be sailing without any crew, and its deck appeared deserted. Despite their attempts to communicate with the ship, it vanished into the fog as suddenly as it had appeared. The encounter left the sailors shaken and bewildered, adding to the growing legend of the Jenny as a haunted vessel. Another notable encounter occurred when a coastal lighthouse keeper claimed to have seen the ghostly Jenny approaching the shore. The keeper described the ship as glowing with an otherworldly light and reported hearing strange noises emanating from it. When the keeper attempted to signal the ship, it disappeared into the darkness, leaving behind a sense of eerie silence. The legend of the ghost ship Jenny has given rise to various rumors and interpretations. Some locals believe that the ghost ship is a manifestation of an ancient curse or a punishment for some past wrongdoing. According to one version of the story, the ship's crew was cursed to sail the seas forever as retribution for their actions. Others speculate that the ghostly Jenny serves as a warning or a harbinger of doom. In this interpretation, the ship's appearances are seen as a signal of impending danger or a reminder of the perils of the sea. The ghost ship is believed to be a spectral reminder of the dangers that lurk in the ocean, warning sailors to remain vigilant and cautious. The Jenny story has also inspired various cultural and artistic expressions. The ghost ship's legend has been featured in local folklore, literature, and popular media, contributing to its enduring mystique. The ship's tale continues to captivate the imagination of those who hear it, blending elements of maritime history, supernatural mystery, and cultural heritage. Today, the ghost ship Jenny remains a compelling and enigmatic figure in maritime folklore. The ship's haunting presence and the numerous encounters and rumors surrounding it have ensured that its legend endures. Whether viewed as a genuine supernatural phenomenon or a product of local myth and imagination, the Jenny story continues to intrigue and fascinate those who encounter it. 13. The Phantom Ship Octavius. The tale of the phantom ship Octavius is a chilling maritime legend that has intrigued and mystified those who hear it. Known for its spectral appearance and eerie reputation, the Octavius's story is a blend of historical fact and ghostly folklore. To fully grasp the haunting legend of this ghost ship, we must delve into its origins, its transformation into a phantom vessel, and the various accounts and rumors that have emerged over time. The Octavius was a merchant ship built in the early 19th century. It was a sturdy and reliable vessel, designed for the Arctic trade routes. The ship's mission was to transport cargo between Europe and the Arctic regions, navigating some of the coldest and most treacherous waters known to sailors at that time. The ship was constructed with the harsh Arctic conditions in mind, equipped with reinforced hulls to withstand the pressure of ice and harsh weather. It was a typical merchant vessel of its era, with a focus on durability and cargo capacity rather than luxury or speed. The Octavius was known for its ability to navigate the icy waters of the Arctic Circle, making it a valuable asset in the maritime trade network. The legend of the Octavius takes a dramatic turn with its mysterious disappearance. According to maritime lore, the Octavius set sail from London in 1762 with a cargo of goods bound for the Arctic. The ship's journey was intended to be a routine voyage, but something went terribly wrong. The Octavius never reached its destination, and its disappearance became a subject of speculation and concern. Various theories emerged about the ship's fate, including the possibility of it being lost to the harsh Arctic conditions or falling victim to a maritime disaster. Despite extensive search efforts, no trace of the Octavius was found, and it was presumed lost at sea. The most chilling part of the Octavius's legend is its ghostly reappearance years later. According to the most well-known version of the story, the ship was discovered adrift and frozen in the Arctic ice nearly 13 years after it was last seen. In 1775, a whaling ship named the Herald, captained by a man named Robert Drury, stumbled upon the derelict vessel. The Herald's crew boarded the Octavius and made a horrifying discovery. The ship was found to be in remarkably good condition, but it was deserted. The crew's belongings were still in place, and the ship's cargo remained untouched. However, the most disturbing aspect was the state of the crew's remains. The bodies of the Octavius's crew were found frozen in their positions, as if they had died suddenly and without warning. It appeared that the crew had been frozen in time, their deaths shrouded in mystery. Following its discovery, the Octavius became the subject of numerous ghost stories and supernatural claims. The ship's eerie condition and the circumstances of its abandonment gave rise to the belief that it was a haunted vessel. According to folklore, the Octavius was cursed to sail the Arctic seas for all eternity, a ghost ship bound by the ice that claimed its crew. Witnesses who have reported seeing the ghostly Octavius describe a ship that appears out of nowhere, often surrounded by ice and fog. The phantom vessel is said to glow with a ghostly light, and its appearance is accompanied by an eerie silence or the sounds of creaking timbers. Some accounts even suggest that the ghost ship is accompanied by spectral figures of its crew, doomed to wander the icy waters for eternity. One of the most famous incidents associated with the ghost ship Octavius involves the account of the whaling ship Herald's crew. The discovery of the derelict vessel and the eerie condition of its crew left a lasting impression on those who encountered it. The Herald's crew members were reportedly haunted by their experience, and some claimed to have seen the ghostly figure of the Octavius drifting through the icy waters. Another notable encounter occurred when a group of Arctic explorers reported seeing a ghostly ship in the distance. The explorers described the vessel as glowing with an otherworldly light and surrounded by a mysterious fog. Despite their attempts to investigate, the ship vanished as suddenly as it had appeared, leaving the explorers with a sense of unease and wonder. The legend of the phantom ship Octavius has given rise to various rumors and interpretations. Some locals believe that the ship's haunting presence is the result of an ancient curse or a supernatural punishment. According to one version of the story, the crew of the Octavius was cursed for some past wrongdoing, condemning them to sail the Arctic seas forever. Others speculate that the ghostly appearance of the Octavius serves as a warning or a harbinger of doom. In this interpretation, the ship's sightings are seen as a signal of impending danger or a reminder of the harsh realities of Arctic exploration. The ghost ship is believed to be a spectral reminder of the perils of the frozen north and the dangers that lie hidden beneath the ice. The Octavius's story has also inspired various cultural and artistic expressions. The ghost ship's legend has been featured in literature, folklore, and popular media, contributing to its enduring mystique. The tale of the Octavius continues to captivate the imagination of those who hear it, blending elements of maritime history, supernatural mystery, and cultural heritage. Today, the phantom ship Octavius remains a compelling and enigmatic figure in maritime folklore. The ship's haunting presence and the numerous encounters and rumors surrounding it have ensured that its legend endures. Whether viewed as a genuine supernatural phenomenon or a product of local myth and imagination, the Octavius's story continues to intrigue and fascinate those who encounter it. 14. The Ghost Ship Eliza Battle. The tale of the ghost ship Eliza Battle is one of the most intriguing and eerie maritime legends, blending historical facts with supernatural elements. Known for its spectral appearances and mysterious history, the Eliza Battle story captures the imagination of those who hear it. To understand this haunting legend fully, we need to explore the ship's origins, its transformation into a ghostly vessel, and the various encounters and rumors associated with it. The Eliza Battle was a 19th-century schooner, originally launched in 1854. Built primarily for trade, the ship was designed for cargo transport along the coast of the United States. The Eliza Battle was known for its sturdy build and reliability, making it a valuable asset in maritime trade. The ship operated successfully for several years, transporting goods and passengers along the Gulf Coast and the Caribbean. During its operational years, the Eliza Battle was involved in various trade ventures, carrying a range of cargo including cotton, sugar, and other goods. It was considered a well-maintained and dependable vessel, with a reputation for navigating challenging conditions with skill. The ghostly legend of the Eliza Battle begins with a tragic event that occurred on June 1, 1854. The ship was on a voyage from New Orleans to Mobile, Alabama, carrying a cargo of cotton and other goods. According to historical accounts, the Eliza Battle encountered a severe storm while navigating the Gulf of Mexico. The storm was particularly violent, with high winds and rough seas battering the ship. Despite the crew's best efforts to manage the situation, the Eliza Battle was overwhelmed by the storm's fury. The ship was reported missing for several days, and a search was conducted to locate it. After the storm subsided, the wreckage of the Eliza Battle was discovered drifting off the coast of Pensacola, Florida. The ship was found abandoned, with no sign of the crew or any survivors. The cargo was still aboard, but the ship itself was in a state of disrepair, suggesting that it had endured significant damage during the storm. Following the discovery of the wreckage, rumors began to circulate about the Eliza Battle's ghostly presence. According to local folklore, the ship was cursed to sail the seas as a phantom vessel after its tragic loss. The legend holds that the crew and passengers who perished in the storm were condemned to remain aboard the ghost ship for eternity. Witnesses who have reported seeing the ghostly Eliza Battle describe a spectral vessel that appears out of nowhere, often surrounded by fog or mist. The phantom ship is said to glow with an eerie light, and its sails are described as billowing despite the absence of wind. The ship's appearance is often accompanied by unsettling sounds, such as ghostly voices or the creaking of the ship's timbers. One of the most famous incidents associated with the ghost ship Eliza Battle occurred in the late 19th century. A group of sailors on a passing ship reported seeing the ghostly Eliza Battle drifting through the fog. The sailors described the ship as glowing with an otherworldly light and reported hearing ghostly voices and the sound of a ship's bell. The sailors attempted to approach the phantom vessel, but it vanished into the fog before they could get close. The encounter left the sailors shaken and intrigued, adding to the growing legend of the Eliza Battle as a haunted ship. Another notable encounter happened in the early 20th century when a group of fishermen reported seeing the ghostly ship while out at sea. The fisherman described the Eliza battle as appearing suddenly out of the mist, its ghostly light illuminating the surrounding waters. The ship seemed to be sailing without any crew, and the fishermen were unable to make contact before the vessel disappeared. The legend of the ghost ship Eliza battle has given rise to various rumors and interpretations. Some locals believe that the ship's haunting presence is the result of an ancient curse or supernatural punishment. According to one version of the story, the ship's crew and passengers were cursed for some past wrongdoing, condemning them to sail the seas forever. Others interpret the ghostly appearance of the Eliza battle as a warning or a harbinger of doom. In this view, the ship's sightings are seen as a signal of impending danger or a reminder of the dangers of the sea. The ghost ship is believed to serve as a spectral reminder of the perils faced by sailors and the unpredictable nature of maritime travel. The story of the Eliza battle has also inspired various cultural and artistic expressions. The ghost ship's legend has been featured in local folklore, literature, and popular media, contributing to its enduring mystique. The tale of the Eliza battle continues to captivate the imagination of those who hear it, blending elements of maritime history, supernatural mystery, and cultural heritage. Today, the ghost ship Eliza battle remains a compelling figure in maritime folklore. The ship's haunting presence and the numerous encounters and rumors associated with it ensure that its legend endures. Whether viewed as a genuine supernatural phenomenon or a product of local myth and imagination, the Eliza battle story continues to intrigue and fascinate those who encounter it. 15. The ghost ship Marlborough. The ghost ship Marlborough is a captivating maritime legend that intertwines historical fact with supernatural folklore. Known for its spectral sightings and mysterious past, the Marlborough story is both eerie and intriguing. To fully appreciate this haunting tale, we must explore the ship's origins, its transformation into a ghostly vessel, and the various encounters and rumors that have emerged over time. The Marlborough was a British merchant ship launched in the early 19th century. Built in 1810, the ship was designed for trade and transport, equipped with a sturdy hull to navigate the treacherous waters of the Atlantic. Its primary mission was to carry cargo between Europe and the Americas, and it was known for its reliability and efficiency. Throughout its operational years, the Marlborough made numerous voyages, transporting goods such as sugar, tobacco, and cotton. The ship was a valued asset in the maritime trade network, praised for its ability to handle challenging conditions and its overall performance. It was manned by a competent crew and maintained a reputation for successful and safe voyages. The ghostly legend of the Marlborough begins with a tragic and mysterious event. In 1833, the ship was on a routine voyage from the Caribbean to England when it encountered a severe storm. The storm was unusually violent, with high winds and massive waves battering the vessel. The crew of the Marlborough fought valiantly to keep the ship afloat, but the storm proved too powerful. The vessel was severely damaged, and the crew was unable to control it. The ship was eventually reported missing, and a search was conducted, but no trace of the Marlborough or its crew was found. Months later, a shipwrecked vessel was discovered drifting off the coast of Ireland. The wreck was identified as the Marlborough, but there was no sign of the crew. The ship's cargo was still aboard, and the vessel itself was in a state of disrepair, suggesting that it had suffered significant damage before its final disappearance. Following the discovery of the wreckage, the Marlborough became the subject of various ghost stories and supernatural claims. According to local folklore, the ship was cursed to sail the seas as a phantom vessel after its tragic loss. The legend holds that the Marlborough's crew and passengers were doomed to remain aboard the ghost ship for eternity. Witnesses who have reported seeing the ghostly Marlborough describe a spectral vessel that appears out of nowhere, often surrounded by fog or mist. The phantom ship is said to glow with an eerie light, and its sails are described as billowing despite the absence of wind. The ship's appearance is often accompanied by unsettling sounds, such as ghostly voices or the creaking of the ship's timbers. One of the most famous incidents associated with the ghost ship Marlborough occurred in the late 19th century. A group of sailors aboard a merchant vessel reported seeing the ghostly Marlborough drifting through the fog. The sailors described the ship as glowing with a spectral light and reported hearing eerie sounds coming from it. The sailors attempted to approach the phantom vessel, but it vanished into the mist before they could get close. The encounter left the sailors unnerved and intrigued, contributing to the growing legend of the Marlborough as a haunted ship. Another notable encounter happened in the early 20th century when a lighthouse keeper along the Irish coast reported seeing the ghostly ship. The keeper described the Marlborough as appearing suddenly out of the fog, its ghostly light illuminating the surrounding waters. Despite attempts to signal the ship, it disappeared as quickly as it had appeared, leaving behind an unsettling silence. The legend of the ghost ship Marlborough has given rise to various rumors and interpretations. Some locals believe that the ship's haunting presence is the result of an ancient curse or a supernatural punishment. According to one version of the story, the ship's crew and passengers were cursed for some past wrongdoing, condemning them to sail the seas forever. Others interpret the ghostly appearance of the Marlborough as a warning or a harbinger of doom. In this view, the ship's sightings are seen as a signal of impending danger or a reminder of the dangers of the sea. The ghost ship is believed to serve as a spectral reminder of the perils faced by sailors and the unpredictable nature of maritime travel. The story of the Marlborough has also inspired various cultural and artistic expressions. The ghost ship's legend has been featured in local folklore, literature, and popular media, contributing to its enduring mystique. The tale of the Marlborough continues to captivate the imagination of those who hear it, blending elements of maritime history, supernatural mystery, and cultural heritage. Today, the ghost ship Marlborough remains a compelling figure in maritime folklore. The ship's haunting presence and the numerous encounters and rumors surrounding it ensure that its legend endures. Whether viewed as a genuine supernatural phenomenon or a product of local myth and imagination, the Marlborough story continues to intrigue and fascinate those who encounter it.